Alright, this is part one of the simple balsa wood RC plane. Now, as you can see on the table, I've laid out all the balsa wood I'm going to need for this build. This is about $12 worth of balsa wood, and it should cover just about every single piece of the skeleton of the plane. These two spars right here, these are basswood spars used for fuselage and wing. The wing is going to be exactly as long as this spar, which is 36 inches. So these are the only two basswood components. Other than that, it'd just be too heavy to try and keep using basswood. So then you move on to, I'd say, 1/8 by 1/4 inch. Got 3 of those. 1/8 by 1/8, 4 of those. And then you got, looks like 3/16 by 3/16, 4 of those. 1/8 times 1 inch, 2 of those. 1 inch times 1/4 triangle. 1 inch times 1/4 triangle rounded. 1 1/4 inch by, what is that? 3/8 triangle. And this is 1/2 by 1/2 triangle. So now, that's all what this all is. The names of what they're called and all that sort of deal. So now I'm going to tell you what they're all for. Okay, like I said, fuselage center strengthener, wing strengthener, spar, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. This 1/2 by 1/2 inch triangle is for the leading edge, which is going to be carved into a leading edge shape. The 1.15 by 1/4 inch triangle is for the control surfaces on the wing. The main wing is what I mean by that. The 1 inch by 1/4 inch rounded triangle is for the control surfaces on the elevator and rudder. The 1 inch by 1/4 inch triangle here is for the trailing edge of the wing, the main wing. The 1 inch by 1/8 inch spar of balsa, these two are both used for what are they? The formers, the wing formers, the ones, I don't have an example of them, but they're for the wing formers. You'll see, that's going to be the first thing. When you go into the 3/16 by 3/16, those are going to be for, I don't know, I think in between the wing and tail, like trellis sort of structure. These are going to be formed there and then trellised out to be strengthened. These are wing formers. So what they're going to do is the wing formers are going to be slotted, and these are going to run along the top side. So that's these. These are 1/8 by 1/8. These are 1/8 by, I want to say, 1/4, and these are for, I'm sure, just like extra, just in case I need anything else. And these are that. And I also have some plywood stock way over in the corner I can use for the firewall. And in terms of the power plant, I'm probably going to be using 6-gram servos, because the wingspan is only 36 inches, and it's going to be a high wing. And the motor, I'm deciding between a Supo, I don't know what it's called, a friend gave it to me, or a Donkey 1700 with a 10 amp ESC already attached. I'm going to wait on that because I want to see how light and how big the plane is. Just, it's better to just like sort of see it and then judge what kind of motor the plane wants from there, you know. So I'll wait till the end to choose the motor. But now we're going to go on to the first part, which is making the wing. So what that means is this is staying, this is going, this is going, this is staying, these are going, this is staying, this is staying, this is staying, these are all staying, and this is going, as well as this as staying. Now I don't think I'll need all these materials. About probably 3/4 to a half of it is going to be used, and the rest of it is just going to go straight to the fuselage and tail. But anyway, so the first part, we have to make a design of the formers we want to do. Alright, so this is a plywood block. It's measured out exactly to 5 inches, and from here we can draw our airfoil shape, and we'll cut it out of this plywood and we'll use it as a stencil to trace onto our balsa wood spars. So this part of it is pretty flexible. I just have to make sure I get like basic dimensions right. So you have 5 inches in total. If it's facing this way, I'm gonna say that the peak of the airfoil probably be around in between 3.5 and 4. So somewhere in here is gonna be the peak of the airfoil when it reaches its peak and goes back down. Matter of fact, I'll say 3.5. So we'll go from 3.5, make our little mark. That is where the spar is going to go. So this 3/16 by 3/16 spar, or no, this is actually 1/4 by 1/4, my bad. This 1/4 by 1/4 basswood spar is going to go right in the center of the wing, right there. So it'll act as a spar, blah 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 blah. Okay, you got it. So now, from the center of the spar, we go up. How much do we want to go up? How much is that? Maybe 3/4 of an inch? See how close was I? Exactly 3/4 of an inch. Alright, so 3/4 of an inch it is. Let's just mark it as if it really was. Okay, so that is 3/4 of an inch up from where we want the center of the spar to be. So from there, we can start sketching it. So I'm just going to start sketching it. Okay, so there's the back half. I'm just going to make sure this matches up with my triangle that I bought so that I don't have to shave or add to the triangle. Let's see. If I were to put the triangle here, it doesn't quite add up. So what that means is that I would have to add about 1/8 of an inch to the thing and then shave it back down to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is erase. If I can find an eraser. And that's solid. Screw it. We'll just go over it. So this is gonna be much more direct. Like that. Here, I need an eraser. I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, eraser. Let's erase this top line. Because when you think about it, it's basically paper, just not as smooth. Matter of fact, I just erase it all and then stencil on the one I did before. So, less curvature, more direct, and and then the curve up there. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so then if we measure this again, just about perfect. Pretty good. Alright, then from there we can do the front. So our front is going to be this triangle. You see there, it's a triangle. Anyway, so that means is that this leading edge, sorry for reading the camera there, it's going to be, see if I draw this triangle right here, it can't like extrude past this line, otherwise it won't be passable. So what that means is that that's going to be really hard to do. Oh wait, hold up. So wait, no. So with that, oh hold on. So I put that triangle back down, draw that line, and draw this line again. That's where the front leading edge triangle is going to be. So we can just go straight into there, and then from there we can shape this triangle. So if I go like that, see there, that's where the leading edge is. The leading edge can be carved like that. Ta-da, dun, dun. So from there, you pretty much have your leading edge. All you really gotta do, oh wait, hold up, not done yet, and mark this where this is. Okay, so hold on, we're not done yet. Alright, and then let's put, since we have, what, 3 of these? You can put 1 on the very top, or like 1 right before the very top. Right there. Well, we got 3 of those. So then another one right here. I like to make them slightly deeper than they have to be, so that just in case there's a piece of the spar that's thick, it can slide in, and if it's not, I can just sort of pull it out and then glue it in place. That tends to work a little better than like slamming the wood and compressing it. And then we have our third at the bottom. And ta-da, this is what our wing profile is going to look like. So the piece that we need is this shaded part. Shaded part is what we need. That's what we're going to cut. So, yeah, I could show you me cutting out 12 of these on the scroll saw, but that's really boring. So, I mean, you can look at me cutting ribs out on my other video on the part 1 wing of the Islander. You can see that. So I'm just going to cut to all the ribs cut out, alright? So I'll see you then. Alright, done. Here are all the ribs, or formers, whatever you want to call them. They're all cut out, and there's a total of what, 13, something like that. I think so, because yeah, there's 13 of them in total, because there's a single middle one, which means there's 2 on, yeah, so it's 13. What I did is I took the basswood spar right here, and I measured every 3 inches. I made a pencil mark on top of it, all the way until the end. And then I basically laid this on top of there, and I used a right angle guide majigger thingy to make sure that they were straight and like upright, and then glued them all in place. And I have the first stick, I don't know what you call them, former sticks, whatever, and the slots that I planned. So then I'm gonna do another one, and then the under one, and I'm gonna put in the trailing edge, which is here. So once that, basically all the components of the wing are, that's when you're gonna next see it. So just a quick update on the ailerons of the main wing. I use this special hinge technique I haven't really tried ever before. Usually when you do hinges, you have, like this is an example plane, you have these nylon hinges on the hinge line, and that's really like easy to work with because they're straight up hinges, but like in terms of cleanliness and like just overall looks, it's not really that great for smaller planes. So what I did is I made a new type of hinge system that's, I want to say, really flawless. How it works is I utilize this piece of wood where it's completely round on the edge, and I rounded out the inner wells on this wood backing right here, so like it's rounded so it sort of fits in there a little bit. Right at the edge right here, you can see that wire. That wire is a hinge, as well as right here at the edge here. So these wires are just normal control line wires that stick through each side right there, and this one is just ingrained there. So I can just move it back and forth just on those two fastening points, and it works almost perfectly. So yeah, yeah. Alright, so here are the servos. They are Hobby King 6-gram servos. Turnigy, I believe. TG60 or whatever they are. Hooked up to a Dubro micro whatever retainer. And then you have the push rod over to the control horn, and since the actual access point is inside the spar rather than at the edge, I could just put the horn straight up, and it would lead straight down to the access or axle point or whatever. So that proved pretty easy. It was nice. And then I have the wires with the extensions leading to the Cinder 6 spar. Same deal over here. What I did here is, you can see right around the servo there are these wooden blocks. Here. Right here and right here. What those are is when the covering goes on this plane. Had it been without these two, it would be an open block, and I wouldn't be able to deal with this servo arm coming through the wrapping, so I have to cut out that whole thing. What this allows me to do is make the wrapping come all the way up to this edge, and I can cut along this edge and just leave this little bit of opening. So yeah, zooming out, the wing until covering is now done. Now we're going to go on to the tail, surfaces, elevator, and rudder.